I am Thoth, the ever-seeing, the hand that remembers. Before gods rose I was. After stars fall I remain. I do not shape the tale, I etch it into the bones of time. From the first word to the final silence I bear witness. So listen well, seeker of truths, for this is not the beginning. It is the recalling. X in the curious shadows. The sun hadn't fully risen, but X was already awake. He crouched low in the underbrush, eyes fixed on the tiny creatures darting along the branches above him. Squirrels. He'd been watching them for weeks, fascinated by the way they moved with purpose, always carrying, burying, adjusting. Their chatter was quick, sharp, and full of secrets. X wanted to understand, not just to see, but to be. His small body rippled, fur sprouting, limbs shrinking. In moments, he was a squirrel too, his new tail flicking in awkward bursts until he found the rhythm. He chattered softly to himself and bounded up the tree, almost laughing at how natural it felt. Now the world looked different. Bigger, wilder. Every branch was a pathway, every leaf a hiding place. He followed the others, copying their leaps, their sniffs, their quick turns of the head. The squirrels didn't chase him off. They barely seemed surprised. If anything, they treated him like a clumsy cousin tagging along. X imitated everything, digging at roots, scratching at bark, darting into shadows. He stuffed acorns into his cheeks until they bulged, then buried them, forgetting where immediately, but laughing anyway. It was a game, and he was winning. But the game had layers he didn't see. The squirrels didn't just dart aimlessly. They moved in patterns, groups splitting, rejoining, circling the places where the fog drifted thickest. X thought it was part of the fun, so he followed. He crouched low with them as they pressed small objects, seeds, leaves, even bones, into the soil where the fog pooled. The mist didn't push them away. It swirled around their tiny bodies like it knew them. X copied the motions exactly, pressing a shiny pebble into the ground and patting it down like he'd seen. The fog responded, a faint ripple, almost approving. He felt a shiver in his little squirrel chest, but he didn't understand it. He only grinned, tail flicking, proud of his performance. By midday, he had his own little stash: acorns, shiny stones, scraps of leaves, arranged just like the squirrel's caches, geometric and precise. The others glanced at his work, twitched their tails, and carried on, never acknowledging him, but never casting him out. As the sun dipped low, X returned to one of the foggy hollows where the squirrels had buried something earlier. His curiosity itched. He wanted to know what they'd hidden. He scratched at the soil with his tiny paws, digging faster and faster until he unearthed a blackened seed, slick with mist, pulsing faintly as if alive. The fog stirred violently. All around him the squirrels froze, every single one. Their tails went rigid. Dozens of tiny black eyes turned toward him at once. X held the seed in his paws, confused. Oops. They moved together, not as squirrels, not as individuals, but as a single hive of shadows chittering in unison, advancing with eerie precision. Their teeth gleamed in the dim light, sharp as needles. X panicked, the seed slipping from his grip. It hit the ground and the fog swallowed it whole. The squirrels stopped, perfectly still. Then, as if nothing had happened, they scattered back into the trees, vanishing into the branches above. X shifted back to his usual form, wide-eyed, chest heaving. His heart raced with both fear and excitement. He had just seen something the squirrels didn't want him to. He grinned nervously, wiping dirt from his hands. I won the game, he whispered to himself. But the fog at the edge of the clearing pulsed once, slowly like a warning heartbeat, and X wasn't sure anymore if he had. The ruins were quiet that day. No fog, no storms, no chase of beasts, only broken stone and a pale sky above. X wandered through the rubble in one of his half-forms, his body shifting in small ways as he climbed. Long fingers for gripping, quick paws for balance, always changing, always curious. That's when he saw her. A girl, younger than most, who survived the ruins, her dress torn at the edges, her bare feet bleeding against the stone. She walked beside something vast, a tall figure with blades hidden in his arms, his steps predatory yet controlled. Fang. X tilted his head, sensing the danger. The figure moved like the changed, those twisted, hostile ones he had always avoided. But this one was different. He wasn't mindless. He wasn't snarling. His body radiated control, every twitch of muscle intentional. X scurried closer in his squirrel form, watching. He wanted to see the girl again. She had a softness about her, a spark of life that seemed impossible in this broken place. That's when Fang stopped. His head turned sharply. "You can come out." Fang's voice was low, edged like a knife. "I can smell you." X froze. Then slowly he shifted back into a small boy's form, wide-eyed and cautious, his dark hair messy, his hands clutching a bit of broken stone like a shield. Fang's blade-like arm twitched, a reflex, but he didn't strike, he studied. "You're one of them," Fang said finally. His tone carried no warmth, only judgment. "Changed. Fog-born. A mistake." X shook his head quickly, stumbling over words. Not bad. Not like them." His voice cracked like a child's. "I just wanted to see the girl." At that, the girl looked up, curious but unafraid. Her eyes lingered on X the way children do when they recognize another child, no matter how strange. Fang noticed. He stepped forward, looming over X, his shadow swallowing him whole. "Usually," Fang murmured, "I'd kill a thing like you before it had the chance to speak." His arm shimmered faintly, the hidden blades restless. "But you feel different." X swallowed, shifting nervously, his eyes too large, his frame too fragile. "I'm just me." Silence hung heavy between them. Fang's instinct screamed to strike, but the boy's innocence cut through the noise. Unlike the others, there was no malice, no hunger. Just a child, clumsy and curious, wearing borrowed shapes like masks. The girl tugged gently at Fang's sleeve. "He's like me," she whispered. Fang didn't answer, but his gaze softened almost imperceptibly. His predator's stance eased, and for the first time in a long time, he lowered his arm. "You're not like the rest," Fang said finally. His voice carried both suspicion and something else, something unspoken. "That makes you dangerous in a different way." X didn't know what that meant, but he smiled anyway, relieved not to be torn apart. The girl smiled too, and in that ruined place beneath the empty sky, three beings stood together for the first time: a hunter, a child of shifting shapes, and a girl whose role was still a mystery. Something fragile began that day, something that would matter later.